The ACCel500 Startup Wizard. In most cases, the ACCel500 Startup Wizard will begin after the drive powers up for the first time. If this is not the case, you can navigate through the keypad to start the wizard yourself. To do this, press the Enter key and highlight the M2 Parameters menu by using the up or down arrows on the keypad. To enter this menu, press the right arrow key. This will highlight G2.1 Quick Menu. To enter this menu, press the right arrow key. Now, using the down arrow key, highlight parameter P2.1.13 Setup Wizard. Right now, the keypad will show that the Setup Wizard is disabled. If you press the right arrow key, the word disabled will flash, indicating that this value can be edited. Press the up arrow key to change the value to enabled, and then press Enter to apply the change. The Startup Wizard will begin immediately. First, the wizard will prompt you to select the motion of the section. Press the right arrow key to edit the value. Then, press the up or down arrow key to select either travel or hoist. Press Enter to apply. Now, the wizard will prompt you to select the reference mode of operation. Press the right arrow key to edit, then push the down arrow key to select Stepless, Infinite Variable 3-Step, Infinite Variable 2-Step, 5-Step, or 3-Step. Press Enter to apply. Now, you are prompted to set the encoder pulses per revolution. If this value needs to be changed from default, press the right arrow key to edit, then press the up or down arrow keys to change the value. If your encoder is mounted directly to the motor, set this value to the actual encoder PPR. If the encoder is mounted to a gearbox, set this value to the encoder PPR divided by gear ratio. Press Enter to move on to the next step. To set the motor nominal voltage, press the right arrow key on the keypad to edit, then push the up or down arrow key to change the value. Set this value to the motor nameplate voltage, then press Enter to apply. To set the motor nominal current, press the right arrow key on the keypad to edit, and push the up or down arrow key to change the value. Set this value to the motor nameplate current, then press Enter. To set the motor nominal speed, press the right arrow key on the keypad to edit, and push the up or down arrow keys to change the value. Set this value to the motor nameplate speed, then press Enter. To set the motor nominal frequency, press the right arrow key on the keypad to edit, and push the up or down arrow key to change the value. Set this value to the motor nameplate frequency, then press Enter. Now, the wizard will prompt you to set the maximum frequency. Set this value to the motor nameplate, unless you intend on running the motor past base speed. Press Enter to move on to the next step. Set the acceleration time to any value that works best for your section. Then press Enter. You can do the same with the deceleration time. set the value to whatever works best, then press Enter to move on. The next step is to configure Digital Output 1. From the Startup Wizard, you have 6 options on how to utilize DO1. Overweight alarm, reverse direction indicator, at speed indicator, run indicator, brake slip alarm, or configurable. The configurable option is for advanced users. Select this option only if you can edit the value of DO1 without using the Startup Wizard. Remember, DO1 is an open collector that is rated at 48 volts DC and a maximum of 50 amps. Press Enter to select your option and move on to the next step. We are prompted to configure Digital Output 4. DO4 is only valid if your drive has an option card with extra digital outputs. Otherwise, this step is not applicable and can be skipped. If DO4 does apply to your drive, you can select from the same options as DO1. Overweight alarm, reverse direction indicator, at speed indicator, run indicator, brake slip alarm, or configurable. Press Enter to confirm your selection. Finally, the wizard prompts you to configure Analog Output 2. AO2 has an output range of 0 to 10 DC volts. Similar to Digital Output 4, this setting is only valid if your drive has an option card with extra analog outputs. Otherwise, this step is not applicable and can be skipped. If AO2 does apply, you can select one of the following options: motor current, motor speed, motor power, motor torque, and configurable. Motor torque, motor power, and motor current all have a range of 0 to 200%, while the motor speed option has a range of 0 to 100%. Press Enter to confirm your selection. Now, the wizard is complete and your drive is ready to run. Opening the ACCel500 drive and removing or replacing the option cards. To open the front of the ACCel500, you need a small slotted or flathead screwdriver. Insert the head of the screwdriver into the slot located on the bottom cover, and turn counterclockwise to unlock it. Now you can remove the bottom cover by hand. After removal, you can now see there are 2 more slots located on the bottom of the front cover. Using the same screwdriver, turn the slot on the left counterclockwise and turn the slot on the right clockwise to unlock the front cover. Now, you can lift open the cover to reveal the option cards installed in your drive. Although the front cover of the ACCel500 is hinged, it will not stay open by itself. One method to keep the cover open, without using your hand, is to use a screwdriver. If the screwdriver is small enough, you can wedge it in between the cover and the top of the base to make sure the cover stays open while you're doing work with the option cards. Inside the front cover of the drive, you will see 5 slots labeled A through E. In this video, our drive only has 3 option cards in slots A, B, and C. Slot B has a frequency converter relay board installed. This board, also known as the OPT-A2 card, has 2 relay outputs which can be configured through the drive parameters. This board is almost universally installed in all ACCel500 units. The main I/O card is installed into slot A. This card is also known as the OPT-A9 card. It has 2 analog inputs, 6 digital DC inputs, 1 analog output, and 1 open collector digital output. There are jumper configurations on this card to change the analog inputs and outputs so they can send or receive either 0 to 10 volts or 0 to 20 milliamps. The ACCel500 manual can show you the correct jumper configuration to use for your application. The OPT-A9 card is the most common I/O card distributed with the ACCel500, but there are other options for slot A. The OPT-AL card is one alternative for slot A. This card has 6 digital AC inputs, 2 analog inputs, 2 analog outputs, and 1 open collector digital output. This card is an AC alternative to the all-DC OPT-A9 card. However, there are no jumpers to configure the analog inputs and outputs. Both analog inputs can only receive 0 to 10 volts, while analog output 1 sends out 0 to 20 milliamps, and analog output 2 sends out 0 to 10 volts. If the section requires encoder feedback, slot C will contain the encoder feedback card. This encoder card, shown in the video, is the OPT-A5 card. This card has input terminals for the phases of your encoder: phase A, phase B, and phase Z if applicable. This specific card also gives the option on how much voltage the drive should output to the encoder. A jumper on the board lets you choose whether the drive sends 24 volts to the tach or 15 volts. The OPT-A5 is the most commonly distributed encoder card, but there are other options to choose from. Please contact Avtron for more details regarding other encoder board options. The 2 remaining open slots, D and E, are commonly used for communication and data exchange. Serial, Profibus, Ethernet, and other communication cards are available for the ACCel500. Please contact Avtron for more details. Removing the ACCel500 keypad. Push in the tabs on the side with your thumb and finger, and pull the keypad outward. Removing the keypad will reveal a serial input, which can be used for communication with your computer for maintenance. A special cable is not required for communication. A standard 9-pin serial cable can be used. Also, if your original keypad no longer works, you can replace it with a new one. No configuration is necessary. To insert the keypad, simply snap it back into its place on the front of the cover.